Hello and good day, students. This course is GST 111/GST 211 titled Communication in English. As you can see on the screen, this is Module 5 on writing skills. My name is Dr. Aliyu Yakub Yusuf. Stay tuned. This is the introductory slide.
You can see the
This
highlight
slide
of the
is
module.
used to introduce the
We are
whole
going to
lecture,
discuss
that is
about
lecture 1,
5 or
which we
6
are
items
currently
in this
discussing.
module. And this
This
slide
module, the whole module,
explains
module 5,
only the first
introduces
item,
you
which
to the
means we are
skills
going
of
to
writing.
have 5
Because
more
good writing
slides
is
covering
achieved
the
only
other
through
remaining
consistent
items.
practice. It
And this
involves one's
slide,
competence in
like I
grammar.
have just said,
When you want to
is going to
develop
discuss
good piece of
about
writing,
the
you have to
introduction to
have
the module,
the desire
which
to
covers
constantly practice.
the meaning of
You must
writing,
be engaged. You must engage
the issue
yourself
to
in
do with
constant practice.
paragraphing,
You
paragraph
you
development,
must write
topic sentence and
write
supporting sentences,
continuously
and so on and
until
so
you
forth.
develop the skill of writing. Likewise, you
tuned.
must have competence in the grammar of the language you are writing in. In this case, English. You must have knowledge of English grammar, because without grammar, your piece of writing will be very bad without the knowledge of grammar. So as you can see, the whole module is split into 6 different lectures. Lecture 1 will be on the essentials of good writing, and this is the lecture we are currently discussing. Lecture 2 will be the writing process. Lecture 3 will be on letter writing. Lecture 4 will be on essay writing. Lecture 5 will be on report writing. And Lecture 6, which is the last lecture, will be on writing curriculum vitae and memorandum. Let us delve into the lecture for today. What is writing? Here we are going to discuss what writing is, as well as its essentials. Writing is a type of accepted orderly written communication. It uses words, that is, it translates sounds into readable codes or symbols, which are known as alphabets. Yes, writing is an accepted orderly written communication. What I mean by this is that writing is one of the means through which we communicate, but this communication exists in writing, not in oral form, and it is accepted and orderly. And in writing we use words. From words we combine words to form sounds. From sounds we combine them into symbols that are known as alphabets. These alphabets are combined into words, words into phrases, phrases into clauses and sentences. Then the sentences are collected together to form paragraphs, and paragraphs are gathered together to form essays, chapters, and books. Likewise, writing is usually done to convey the inner thought of the writer to the reader in the simplest and the most understandable language in an economical manner, such that the reader would not misinterpret the thought of the writer. Yes, writing itself is nothing but conveying the thought of the writer to the reader. The writer attempts to convey his inner thought and inner feeling to the writer, to the reader, I mean. He tries to convey his feeling, his thoughts, his ideas to the reader in simplest form, so that the reader will understand everything without any difficulty. In this slide, we discuss essentials of good writing. Writing has a purpose. The purpose is to convey the thought, the idea, or the feeling of the writer, and also the demands or the expectations of the reader. So any piece of writing that is good enough must satisfy the aim or the purpose of both the writer and the reader. It must be able to convey the thought of the writer. It also must be able to satisfy the expectation and the needs and the desires of the reader. Likewise, it must have theme and purpose. It must be well thought out. It must convey the thought of the reader. It must have theme, that is the topic or subject it discusses. Then the writer must also choose a subject matter that is knowledgeable, or combine materials to develop. When you set out to write any piece, you must select a topic that you are knowledgeable about. Don't write about things you have no knowledge about, because you will end up embarrassing yourself. Likewise, you must choose a topic that you have materials to assist you to develop such a piece of writing. Again, you must organize your piece of writing in such a way that the reader can easily identify its trend. The train of thought or the chain of thought that you want to compute to the reader must be clear, must be written in such a way that the reader can easily identify the trend. Likewise, your piece of writing must be coherent and cohesive, which means that all parts are put together and it shows a particular direction of thought. You are expected to use appropriate connective words to make the sequence clear. What we mean by this is that all the different parts of your piece of writing must go together, must support each other, must be connected by what we call connective words or cohesive devices that are used to link one paragraph and another, or one sentence and another. For example, the use of words such as however, moreover, subsequently, by and large, furthermore, and so on and so forth. All these are what we call connective words. So they are the words that assist you to achieve coherence and cohesion in your piece of writing, so that all the different parts of the piece of writing go together. Again, when you come to write any piece, you must choose words that are comprehensible to the reader. Meaning, whenever you set out to develop any piece of writing, you must have your reader in mind. You must think about the age of the reader, his level of understanding, his level of education, and so on and so forth, so that you choose words that are comprehensible to him or her. Don't use words that are too difficult or too mundane for the reader. Think about words that are appropriate to the level of the reader you have in mind. Then the grammatical structure. In this slide, we are talking about the grammatical structure must be spot on. You must use concords in the right way. You must have proper spelling of words and the proper use of punctuation marks, because all this can make or break your piece of writing. If you use wrong spelling of words, if you use wrong pronunciation in the wrong places, they may distort the meaning of what you want to pass across to the reader. Then again, writing must be legible, especially handwritten. Yes, when you are making or developing a piece of writing, it must be legible. By legible, we mean it must be readable, especially if it is handwritten, because many people have the tendency to use handwriting that is not readable. So put it at the back of your mind that writing legible or readable piece of writing is really essential. Another thing is your piece of writing must be put in its right channel. Yes, this is important. Choosing the particular channel in which you convey your piece of writing is very much essential. When you are writing a letter, for example, it is important you use the format of letter writing. When you are writing minutes of meeting, it is very essential you use the format of writing minutes of meeting. When you are writing a report, it is also essential you choose the format of report writing. So the issue is this: each piece of writing has its own format in which it is written. That is why it is important for you as a writer to choose right channel whenever you are developing any piece of writing. Then your piece of writing must be logical. The thought and the ideas must be sensible. Yes, whatever you are passing across must be logical, must have logic, must be sensible, and must make sense to your readers. Likewise, it must be sequential. The ideas must be arranged sequentially, continuously, chronologically, in such a way that the first idea should come first, the second one should come second, the third one should come third, and so on continuously until the last idea. Then the next one talks about sentence structure. You must use various sentence structures. You must use variable sentence structures, including simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences, and compound complex sentences. You are expected to have a mix of different sentence structures when you are developing a piece of writing, because if you are to use only one sentence structure, your piece of writing will be highly boring and monotonous. But when you have variation, in some places simple sentences, in some places complex sentences, in other places compound sentences, that will create a kind of synergy, a kind of professionalism in the way in which the piece appears. Then, as much as possible, it should express one idea in a paragraph. The writer should have a topic sentence and develop it in the paragraphs, with the topic sentence containing the main idea. Whatever you are writing, it is important that a single paragraph expresses a single idea. Meaning, when you have several ideas in your piece of writing, each idea should occupy only a single paragraph. If you have 5 ideas, it means there should be 5 different paragraphs with each containing a single idea. That is to say, a writer isn't expected to mix different ideas in the same paragraph. Each idea should ideally be discussed throughout a single paragraph, and the next idea moved to the subsequent paragraphs, and so on and so forth. And each paragraph has what we call a topic sentence, which we are going to discuss subsequently in this lecture. Then finally, the final slide on the essentials of good writing is this. If it is not a fiction, it must be factual. Yes, whatever you are writing must either be a fictional piece of writing or factual. A fiction is a piece of writing that is not true, that hasn't happened anywhere in the world. It is only imaginary and creative, while factual is a true life story which has happened somewhere with some people. So if it is a fictional, it allows for imagination and creativity. You can create characters, you can create scenes, you can create events and incidents. But if it is factual, you should know that you are conveying what is true. You are conveying what has happened somewhere to some people. Therefore, you must be accurate, and you must present verifiable truths which someone can easily go and verify. Then again, you are also advised that if it is possible, you can use visuals to embellish your piece of writing. You can use charts, graphs, diagrams, pictures, and so on to further beautify and support your piece of writing with more data. So all this helps in making your piece of writing more logical and more accurate by using charts, graphs, diagrams, pictures, and so on. Similarly, a good writing should be concise and precise without wasting words because of cost and time of the reader. Yes, any good piece of writing should be concise, precise, and straight to the point. You are not expected to use more words than necessary. That is what we call wordiness, the act of using more words than required. We call it wordiness in English. You are not expected to use so many unnecessary words just for the sake of it. Each word should be adequately measured. Each word in your piece of writing should have a purpose. Because when you use more words than necessary, you are simply wasting your words. You are also wasting the time of the reader. Then lastly, if there is need to quote or use other people's original work, they must be fully acknowledged. Otherwise, the writer would be guilty of plagiarism or piracy, which is called stealing of intellectual property. Yes, in the event that you quote another person or other people, it is very, very important that you acknowledge them through citation and referencing. Don't use another person's words or work without citing them in your references. That is what we call plagiarism. When you do that, you are committing the offense called plagiarism. Plagiarism means the act of stealing someone's intellectual property and claiming it as your own. So you are advised to avoid plagiarism. Whenever you quote someone's work, it is very, very necessary that you acknowledge the person in your referencing. Then this section is on paragraph development. How do we develop paragraph? This is what we are going to learn in this module. What is a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of words. Is a group of sentences that expresses a single idea. It is a group of sentences that discusses about a particular topic. Yes, when you have a group of sentences that talks about a single idea, then you have what we call paragraph. A paragraph. It is a group of sentences that discusses about a particular topic. Like I have said earlier on, in a piece of writing, it is assumed that each paragraph talks about a particular idea, a single idea. Therefore, when you have a group of sentences put together talking about a particular idea, then that group of sentences is known as a paragraph. And it usually talks about a single idea or a single topic. We have two ways in which we develop paragraph. The first one is the indented format, and the second one is the blocked format. Sometimes when we want to separate one paragraph from another, we can use indentation. That is the indented format. We push the first line of the paragraph to the left. We push it from the left to the right to create a small space at the beginning of that paragraph. That is an indented paragraph. But sometimes we leave a single line. Now the next slide is recognizing the topic sentence in the paragraph. Each paragraph contains what we call a topic sentence and other supporting sentences. And the topic sentence is usually introduced in the sentence, meaning that the topic sentence is the sentence which contains a summary of the whole paragraph. What I mean by this is that in a paragraph there is a topic sentence, and that topic sentence summarizes the whole idea of the paragraph. When you take it out of the paragraph, it gives a complete summary of the whole paragraph. And this sentence is accompanied by other supporting sentences. And those supporting sentences are supporting the paragraph, are supporting the topic sentence, as the name implies, they are supporting sentences. Therefore, they are giving support to the topic sentence. They are explaining it further. They are discussing it further. They are giving more clarification, more exemplification, and more discussions about the topic sentence. And the topic sentence is usually positioned at the beginning or near the beginning of the paragraph, even though some writers may choose to place it near the middle or even the end of the paragraph, depending on the type of the paragraph. But in most cases, a topic sentence is usually put at the beginning of a paragraph. We are going to discuss this in the next slide. And each topic sentence has a controlling idea. It has a topic and the controlling idea. And it is the controlling idea that gives a writer a clue about how to develop the supporting sentences. Let us see the example. Let us study this paragraph and identify the topic sentence and the supporting sentences. Let me read the paragraph once and later discuss it. Cats are very good pets for several reasons. They are naturally good caregivers because they take care of their kittens, so they want to take care of their owners as well. Cats are quite clean, and if you train them to use a litter box, they require almost no cleaning up in their areas. Finally, cats are independent, so you don't need to worry about them being lonely when you are at school all day. They really are the ideal fit for almost any owner. This is the paragraph, and it has a topic sentence and several other supporting sentences. The first sentence here, cats are very good pets for several reasons, is the topic sentence. The topic here is the cats are very good pets, and the controlling idea is for several reasons. Therefore, this topic sentence has the topic and the controlling idea. The topic is cats are very good pets. The controlling idea is for several reasons. This controlling idea is what assists the writer to develop the other supporting sentences. Since we said cats are very good pets for several reasons, therefore the supporting sentences must be about the reasons why cats are very good pets. Those supporting sentences must give support to the first claim made in the topic sentence. Now, let us read the second sentence. They are naturally good caregivers because they take care of their kittens, so they want to take care of their owners as well. This is one reason why cats are very good pets. Because we said for several reasons, and now we are discussing the several reasons. So one of the reasons is they are naturally good caregivers because they take care of their kittens, so they want to take care of their owners as well. Then the third sentence, cats are quite clean, and if you train them to use a litter box, they require almost no clean up in their areas. This is another reason why cats are very good pets. Finally, cats are independent, so you don't need to worry about them being lonely when you are at school all day. This is once again another reason why cats are very good pets. They really are the ideal pet for almost any owner. So looking at this paragraph, you can see that the first sentence, which is the topic sentence, makes a claim, and the other supporting sentences all support the claim made in the topic sentence. That is how to develop a good paragraph. This is the last slide in this lecture, lecture 1. So far we have discussed what is writing, the essentials of good writing, paragraph development, what is a paragraph, and as well as the topic sentence and the supporting sentences that are found in each paragraph. In the next lecture, which is lecture 2, we are going to discuss the writing process. Thank you very much everyone for listening.